All right, let's get started with this episode. Our puppy is royalty. Why do we never know that? And why is he in the accounting department? I mean, even though he said that he's just not as smart as Indolak and all that. Because he pretty much said earlier, right, that he bought his position. And in this position, he's not even doing much. And he's royalty. I don't know. This puppy, I have higher expectations for him. We shall see how this develops. And hopefully with the maiden.
Stop.
What? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I was reading this. So it's like, so PM is complimenting him, of course, and like, as for my complexion, well, I've learned some of the struggles women face. I think he's referring to like the whole makeup process and maintenance of our beauty. But at the same time, I was thinking of like struggles in the bed because Indolark recently cast that protective layer on him. So that was what I was first thinking, you guys. All right. East, the assistant director of the Royal Sorcery Department. I like this guy. This is the type of chill character that I can relate and appreciate. Okay. I forgot for a moment, you guys, but I was like, oh, third pairing. I'm all good with that. And it's like his tone when he's talking, whispering in his ears too. Is it like jelly right now? That's a little bit annoying, ain't she? Like, I thought she would be insightful enough in the previous episode to realize that Arash likes Sei. But no, she's just trying to drag him away. She's being a little possessive because I think at the same time she's using her authority to try and force him to spend time with her. But our boy's like, nope, you have no need for me. Please go. Leave me alone. It's like, yes. Wait, oh my god. How do you pronounce his name again? East? Is it IST? It was really short. He's gonna figure this out right away. Yes. This is like my new almost instantly favorite character. Alright. I see the personality of nobility here. Just firstborn prince. All right, you are off my list. You are off my list now. It doesn't make any sense. I guess maybe not everyone knows about Sei's constitution, right? Because he's resistant to magic. Because there's no way you can compare him to the maiden in terms of just their physical attribution to this world. So I'm not as upset with the first prince yet because he most likely doesn't know. Because if he does know, then he's just a jerk. It makes no sense for Sei to be there as an accountant. He really doesn't contribute to anything because he has no combat skills. I mean, other than maybe his intellect, how is he going to contribute? Because he doesn't know much about the miasma. Oh, he also didn't know about the potion. Yeah, I would be upset too because in the Lag's position, right? I've been working so hard to like heal Sei and set this protective barrier on him and stuff, but he's just going behind my my back. Oh my god, my voice is like cracking. Like working extra. This boy. It's not like anything crazy that he's doing behind his back, but at the same time, for all the effort that Indolak is putting into like taking care of him and nourishing him in a sense, right? He's not making it any easier. How can he ask to return to work after he just used his energy to save, like, to, I guess, what is it? Heal him? To, like, nourish his health back? I'm like, increase his stats? Boy, and you're in his arms and you just want to get back to work. Enjoy the moment, Sei, please. Okay, interesting. See, he brings it up again. I also know that our present relationship is strange, even for this world. I think, is that why he's stagnant? Is that why their relationship is where it is right now and just not progressing? Because he always has that on his mind and he doesn't want to make things harder for Indolark. He took Seisan's criticism from last time about not knowing the finances of his department and all that, and actually put it into action. Oh, this is such a good trait. like receiving feedback from your partner and then acting upon it, rather than in one ear, out the other. I really like the development on Indolark's side. As for Say, I'm not sure yet what that. I mean, there was development in episode 4 with him realizing that he should take more initiative with this whole healing magic process. That was really cute. I mean, okay, this got a little bit deeper and yes, depressing. But earlier, how Say was just kind of thinking in his mind, and Indolark's able to just kind of read him based on his expression, and yeah, man, and it makes sense that he is the youngest child, how he's just able to say what's on his mind like that. That was deep. I mean, well, okay. Let's see. That was interesting to learn about Say. It's a little bit sad that, he can't take care of his parents, and hopefully all his assets does transfer. But then in these situations or these stories settings, right, usually they don't go back to their world. At least he's thinking about it. I'm like, with the maiden, is she even thinking about her parents? She seems all happy and but ultimately, does she miss her parents? Does she want to go back to her own world? And it doesn't seem like it, because she's enjoying this world because she doesn't like studying and all that, right? As she mentioned earlier, and she has more freedom in this world, even though I don't think she realizes, but she has a lot more responsibility. And yeah, repercussions, potential consequences with her role in this world. I don't think she's fully processed that yet. And I think Say here, because he's much more much older, he understands this, and it's nice that he's sharing this with Indolark. Wait, okay, so by that, they really don't even need to take off their clothing, right? They just need to like touch. But I understand with the clothing, it's more intimate, so maybe the magic is more potent that way. So realistically, there isn't a need for them to remove their clothing. I mean, in emergency situations, perhaps, but like, oh, okay. East, yes, my boy. I love how forward he is. Oh, these interactions are precious. Yes. Yeah, I was thinking this whole time because when she was running towards him in the hallway, I was like, does she think this is a field trip? Because this is actually a very dangerous mission that solely relies on her. Does she not understand the circumstances that she's in and put the leadership role that she's in, or at least all the pressure that is put on her? I don't think she's process all of this, or yeah, she does not realize the purpose. I think she realized the purpose of the expedition, as Say here is asking her, but she doesn't realize what it means to this kingdom in truth, like everything is relying on her. I would be stressed as fudge if I was her, but no, here she is asking so that she can ride with Indolark. Yes! Give it to her straight, Say yes! Oh my god! No one in this world is lecturing her because they're kind of dependent on her in a way. Oh, I love this! Yes! Give it to her. Smack this girl straight. Smack that logic into her. Like what she's asking, she thinks is really much nothing, but he's really risking his life for her to go on this expedition, and to take him away from Indolark is potentially like killing him. That's the trade-off. I don't think Say is like fully upset with her. He's just trying to explain to her because he knows that she doesn't know the repercussions of her request, right? Like the consequences of it. So it's good, like he's educating her, he's being firm with her, whereas everybody else is kind of babying her, So they're straight up just sleeping together now. What is this? Almost like pseudo dating, but not really. Maybe Indolark's definitely struggling a bit more with this relationship, right? Because even just from the previous episode, episode 4, all of a sudden we're jumping to episode 5 here, because maybe because of this expedition they're sharing the room more. Well, okay, it's because Sei has more exposure, right, to the outside worlds now, and the whole getting closer to the miasma. That's why Interlock has been a bit more clingy, I would say. But because of the fact that he's asking these questions, where like, who have you seen, where have you been, and all that stuff, it's a little clingy. Okay, now all of a sudden she cares about her brother who came from another world. All of a sudden, girl, please. The frustration I feel right now. Okay, here's a question. I think he just cast a spell just now and he was not singing. So what's with all the singing with the earlier magic that he cast? Maybe because it's of a different element, you cast it differently? Interesting. That's really interesting right now, because he just pretty much said the purification process is based on Yui's mental state. So I totally understand why everyone is everyone's sheltering her so that she could be in that mental peaceful state to cast this purification spell or whatever it is that she needs to do. So okay, understandable now. Partly because she's the maiden, and partly because she needs to be in that state. Whereas they don't really care about Sei as much. But I'm like, why is the first prince so adamant about bringing Sei into this miasma process? Is he using him as like a tool because he's here too, and he's exposed to all this, but he's willing to go, and hence it makes the maiden want to work harder? I don't know. Okay, so our boy doesn't have any magic, but he has calculations. I don't know, like in this world, can you create your own magic? Like, I don't know, can he deconstruct their spells and, I don't know, rework the magic circle or formulation where it amplifies the spell so that the purification can be above 30%? Because he's here to observe the magic, right? And Ito, this dude, pink hair dude, is able to tell how the percentage of 30%, right? So there is some sort of gauge. So I'm wondering if Sei can develop a new magic spell. Okay, that makes sense, right? So there's this tree that gives off miasma. Why wouldn't you encase it and stop the poisonous particulars from being exposed to the rest of the world? I don't understand why no one has thought of that. Or maybe there is some like I don't know, is a tree gonna come alive and attack them while they cast this barrier? Rather than, okay, so I think what the maiden Yua does, she would purify the tree, right? It cleans the tree as a whole, but if you can't clean it, then just trap it. That makes sense to me. I'm just like, why hasn't anyone thought of that? At least this is what I think what Sei's doing. Similar concept to how Arash is creating that protective layer. The protective layer is kind of like the inverse of what they're trying to do. The protective layer keeps the magic particles from coming in. So if you cast an inverse of that on this miasma tree, it keeps the particles from coming out. So it's not like the spell doesn't exist, or maybe this magic doesn't exist, but he is able to reverse it somehow through his experience with Arash. And that's why he was consulting Ito-kun. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, else.
Bye bye.
That's what I just said. Why would you protect the whole empire when it's just a tree that's giving off poison? Like, hello? How long has this empire been existing that they haven't thought of this? And they're only relying on the maiden to purify it? I don't understand this, you guys. Everyone here is intelligent. Why haven't they thought about this? I love how I ask these questions and then right afterwards they answer me. Okay, thank you, Say. Thank you. Intellectual laziness. That is the answer, guys. Intellectual laziness. And that is why they did not come up with an alternative to this whole miasma situation and become reliant on just the Holy Maiden's ability. I wonder if like previous Holy Maidens were powerful so that they really didn't have to come up with an alternative. That would make sense. But in terms of Yua, she is rather weak. So at this point right now, she was only able to purify 30%. So hence, I figured maybe Sei kind of knew that and had a backup plan just in case it didn't work out for her. He's thinking about her, you guys. So yeah. Wow. He's even thinking about this on a higher level so that no like future parallel worlder will be transported and be in this mess and position. Dang, Sei is really thinking ahead, you guys. He's just rewriting history right here. I love this character. Yes, this is one of my favorite little tropes where they're like dimwit, but not really, just busting while the characters are in, I like him even more now, you guys. Oh, I love this character. He's like, can I stay here and watch? Okay. I totally understand from his perspective. This is just like a science experiment for him. Because, yes. Oh, man. This is great. I understand in that situation, Sei could be like embarrassed. But at the same time, I feel bad for Arash because he was rejected again. Even though Sei confirmed that he knows his feelings for him. I feel bad for our ally. Wait. Oh my god. It was kind of hard following two dialogue at the same time. But anyway, Isto was saying that because his magic organ wasn't activated, he didn't finish his sentence, but some other organ may have activated, and I'm wondering what that is. The wonkiness of animation sometimes, like the way in which he stroked his hair was like very awkward. But endearing at the same time. Like, I feel like the last two episodes, their intimacy in terms of just like casually embracing each other, brushing, like, patting his head, hugging, and all this stuff has really increased or become more natural as like they're pretty in a pseudo relationship right now. Why doesn't Sei-san just accept Arash's feelings? Just you guys are in a relationship right now. Just accept it. Wasn't that like straight up saying, you're mine? I won't let anyone else have you. Was that like a proposal? Sorry if I'm yelling in your ears right now. Sei-san. I understand priorities and all that, but like your guys kind of practically proposing right here. So, all right, what's his response gonna be? Yes, thank you. It is better to make your intentions clear. Thank you, Arash. Oh, Sei-san, I would think you were the logical one, with all the priorities. Set them straight, set them boundaries right away. What kind of relationship are you in? Be clear about it. It is a transaction of sorts. So you can't leave like breadcrumbing my main dude here. I am very happy with this scene right now. Wait. Wait a minute. Nor? Our puppy? Our puppy is a prince? I thought he was just royalty, but he's a prince? What? Wait, what number is he? I don't think he's in line for the throne, but still a prince? Okay. What is up with the people in this kingdom? Shouldn't... Now, yeah, she's gonna realize they don't really care for her. They only care for her role as a holy maiden and her power. Man, Sei is really looking out for her. Next level of appreciation for him, please. Yua, come on now. Now you listen to him. Now you understand what position you're really in. They've just been spoon feeding you sugar, girl. Now you getting the real taste of it. Right? You're the ones who dragged her here. As Sei said in the first episode, this is kidnapping people, and this is kidnapping. Even if they treat you nicely, you're taken away from your family. How can she be okay with it? Obviously, she hasn't had time to fully process it. But I'm glad Sei here is he really cares for her. You know, he is taking care of her. Oh, Arash is so cute. Even though deep down I feel like he's a little hurt because Sei wants to leave this world, leave him behind. Or, I don't know, would Sei choose to stay with Arash in this world? Because back in his world, he has his parents. I don't know. But if he has a will or a trust, then his paperwork, would be handled. So there's really nothing left for him back there. Because he was just he was just stuck in the corporate position. Or, I don't know, it usually doesn't happen, but what if Arash goes to that world? But I don't see that happening because in this world, Arash, I don't know, he has a lot going on for him. So I think it would, not that it would make more sense, but I can see Sei developing feelings for Arash as deciding to stay into this world, or it could develop into a magic formula that he can go between worlds or something like that. I feel like he's smart enough to, make that happen. And I'm still what is that other organ that he has developed? I'm waiting for Ito to tell me. Ito is so cute. Okay, so that makes transportation magic, right? So I can totally see it happening if they can go between worlds back and forth easily. I don't see why not, based on this logic. This is a great development. I feel like Yua is growing in this sense and trying to find her own purpose and where she fits in this new world that, she was kidnapped to. And I feel really happy for her right now. Okay, you guys, so I guess this is the midway to this anime. I think episode 7 is out. This feels like it could be the ending of a season 1. I would be satisfied with that because everything wrapped up and progressed very nicely with this, where we have Yua really character development is there because she went from kind of ignorant very ignorant and not realizing her situation because she was being kidnapped, into someone that finally understands that she is stuck in this world into further notice. And after the purification, right, she is still expected to hold her role as the Holy Maiden. They weren't just gonna let her go home, and that was revealed in this episode. And now she's more trusting and, as a minor, relying on Sei, because now he actually proved his worth, because originally there wasn't anything that he could do. There was no leverage, no power that he had in order to help her in any way. And even though when he was giving her advice, she didn't take it because he couldn't really do anything himself in this world. But now that he's able to make all this progress and she finds him, she looks up to him, as someone that has power, is intelligent, and making all this progress, and that he's, potentially working so that they can go home with this magical research department. So I think she is learning to appreciate Say and also grow in this role and not just take everything that's been given to her for granted, because ultimately at this point in her life she hasn't really earned anything. She was just thrown into this world and came with the magic. I mean, not saying that she hasn't worked hard with studying the magic, right? But even with the miasma, she was only able to purify it by 30%, and Say ultimately is the one that's doing all of the work, in the sense that he's organizing all this, right, to help her, to give her time, so that she can build up her magical power to fully purify it with the barrier that they've set up. So I'm like very satisfied with the way the anime has progressed in terms of storytelling and character development. Besides from Yua, I think Say as a character, I'm not sure if there's been much growth for him. I only say that because to begin with, Say was a very strong character in terms of his motive and intellect, right? Because throughout the conversation with Arash, he was, I think there was a conversation where he was talking about gaining resources and all that, because he was pretty much powerless. So all throughout this, he was very calculative, and not in terms of like being evil or anything, but in terms of just planning, right? So that he could be in a position of power to make changes in their life, because they are two otherworlders. So in that sense, I don't think Say has grown as a character, but in the terms of like story development and changing the course of this kingdom's magical development, I think he's grown a lot. But it's all through his own efforts. So that's what I mean by that. Arash, I think, has grown a bit. He's come to understand what Say is thinking and how to communicate with him. I would say he's very patient with Say in terms of their relationship. It's probably, what is it now? Maybe like over 4 months or something. So yeah, props to him for speaking in terms of like efficiency, how their relationship is very efficient in terms of keeping Say safe against the magicular resistance, and as well as being more accepting, or at least realizing that he needs to put more effort and to balance out all the effort that Arash is putting into their I guess physical exchange. I don't know, but yeah, because for Arash, it takes a lot of effort for him to cast the spells and everything. So yes, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Originally I was gonna drop this anime because episode 1 to 2 was just not great for me, especially with the 3D rendering. Like that one scene with the chair and the carpet really threw me off, and I feel like the animation, the quality has been a bit more consistent, because episode 1 or 2, there were just scenes that kept on popping up that I thought the artwork was just not consistent. So I'm happy with the animation so far. So this will be a series that I continue. I hope you guys will follow with me and let me know of what you think of the series so far. I'll catch you later. Bye.